Hey folks, Matt from Art of the Image here. I had a reader write in and ask me what lenses a beginner should get for a Nikon DSLR when they're just starting out. So I thought I'd go over some of the lenses that I would recommend if you're just starting out. These are all lenses that I'm going to recommend that are not super expensive but are very sharp, very good performing lenses. They won't break the bank, but they'll get you some good photos. I'm going to start off the Nikon 35mm f1.8G that you see here on the D3100. Is a beautiful prime lens, super fast at f1.8, and it'll allow you to get some wonderful photos indoors, blow out the background for a nice blown out bokeh where your backgrounds with when we say blown out in bokeh, we mean where the background's kind of out of focus there. So that'll allow you to shoot indoors, get a nice blown out background. It's a very sharp lens, very reasonably priced at around $200. If you have a D3100, you need an AFS lens, and that's the lens for you. If you have a D7000 or a D90, the 50mm f1.8D, it's an older lens, but it's probably one of the best lenses in the entire Nikon arsenal in the sense that it is super sharp, very reasonably priced, just a little over $100, and it performs very nicely. It's probably, if not the top, one of the top lenses for resolution. So if you have a D7000 or a D90, one of the bodies that can take the non-AFS lenses, so in other words it doesn't have a motor drive in it, then that's an option for you as well. So you want to choose between the 50mm f1.8D and the 35 f1.8G as far as good beginner primes to start out with. There are also primes that you're probably, I say a good beginner prime, but those are primes that you're going to be more than happy holding on to down the road too, because they are very nice performing primes. The zooms that I would recommend, actually the 18-55 VR kit lens that comes with a lot of the Nikon bodies, is an extremely sharp lens right across the board, 18-55. The VR works very well, so I would actually recommend that lens. It's a good price, it's not going to cost you a lot of money, and it's going to perform quite nicely. If you pair that up with the 55-300 VR, that's going to cover you right across the board from 18-300. And the 55-300 VR is a very sharp lens as well. Performs excellent right across the board, 55-300mm. It's got a very good VR system in it, the image stabilization system. And those two zooms there, the 18-55 in addition to the 55-300, are going to serve you very well and cover you a nice wide range, 18 at your wide, right up to 300 for your long, and both have VR and very reasonably priced. If you have a little more money in the budget, you might want to consider stepping up to the Nikon 18-105 VR. On that, that'll give you a little bit extra reach. Instead of 18-55, it takes you all the way up to 105, so less chances you're going to be needing to switch out your lens as often, and it's just a little handier to have that extra reach. If on the long lens, on the 55-300, if you're thinking that down the road you might be getting an FX body such as the D700 or the D3S, or the D3X, any of the full frame FX bodies, the 70-300 VR is a fantastic option to consider as well. Again, a little bit more money, but this lens is usable on the full frame FX bodies. It's not a DX lens like the 55-300 is, so you can use it on a D700, you can use it on a D3S, a D3X. It's a very sharp lens right across the board. The 70-300, it's very sharp, and the VR works very well. So basically, those are what I would recommend if you're just starting out, if you're looking to add to your collection of lenses. If you just have the, if you bought a D3100 and you just have the kit lens, then I would suggest adding the 35mm f1.8G and the 55-300mm VR. Those lenses are excellent. So the two zooms would be the 18-55 VR, the 55-300 VR, and add the Nikon 35 f1.8G prime. And if you have the D7000, the D90, or one of those other bodies that allows you to use a older D-series lens that doesn't have a motor drive in it, the 50mm f1.8D by Nikon is extremely sharp, great performer, gives you that field of view at about 75mm, which is very close to the 85mm classic portrait lens. So that's a good option too. If you have one of those bodies, you might want to consider both of these lenses, the 35 and the 50, because they're very reasonably priced. And try them out in the store, see what you like better. I would probably go with the 50 first if I had, with the D90 or the D7000, a camera that can use it. I just I'm a big fan of 50 millimeters. So again, it's a personal thing there. So try them out in the store, see what you like. As far as the zooms go, if you want to save money and get some great zooms, they're going to perform well for you. The 18 to 55 VR and the 55 to 300 VR, excellent choice. And if you want to step up a little bit, the 18 to 105 VR is a little bit more money, but gives you that extra reach. And if a full frame body may be in your future and you're thinking about that, then consider the 70 to 300 VR, so you don't have to upgrade later, and that's usable on a D700 or other full frame body. So those are the recommendations, folks. Basically a few different variations on 3 lenses you can get, and the reason for that is those 3 lenses that I'm recommending will give you a nice rounded out kit without buying a lot of lenses. 3 is fairly minimal, and the pricing on all these is quite reasonable, and that will give you a nice rounded out kit, allowing you to shoot in quite a few different situations, give you lots of reach on your zooms and lots of fast aperture speed for indoors when you need it in low light situations, and when you want to take a picture like a portrait and have the background blown out nicely with nice bokeh. So that's what I recommend. I hope that helps those of you that are just starting out, and thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll have some more video posts and some blog posts, and we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of photography. Thanks.